now knowing you're going to play at least 6 district games, it's going to start early March. Is it a sense of relief, now a different sense of excitement with you and the kids being able to know, hey, we got a season, we got a chance to play for a state championship, and let's move along?
Oh yeah, I kind of rolled the dice a little bit because I kind of foresaw that coming. Talking to a few guys that were in the know. I was praying that I was right because I didn't want to really have to backtrack, but these guys needed something to look forward to, needed some hope. I mean, they've been from March to June, basically sitting at their house and watching some of these other states and even some of these other sports in Virginia go out and play and do stuff, and they're like, when are we going to get a chance to do something? And so when they came out and said it, I told them I thought that was what was going to happen. So I was real pleased that it did, and that's been our focus. We put that first game up on the board, and that's what we've been looking at every day. So the kids are locked in and working to get better.
Was there ever a point with the team that they reached their highest threshold of frustration, seeing other states and seeing the colleges play in the fall, but Virginia was one of those very few states that didn't get a chance to play?
I think so. Had a lot of conversations that would probably not normally have. I know one of my senior captains texted me one Friday night, and he's like, Coach, I'm worried. Me and him had, I put my headphones on, went out there on the track, and we talked for about 3 hours. And, he was saying, all this stuff is going on, and, I'm not going to get to have a senior season, and, everything that I've worked for since I was, 10 or 11 years old, now it's going to get taken away from me. And I just, that's probably the first. I mean, that's the most that kid's ever said to me. So I was thankful that he felt like he could talk to me, and the rest of my coaches, I know they've had conversations as well. And basically, I told them, I said, guys, you're going to play football again. I said, Dinwiddie football is going to happen again, and regardless of what happened, I told them, I said, if you guys have earned the right to get a chance to play at the next level, and I'm going to fight, for you to get a shot somewhere, and I said, you just need to focus on what you can and, be where your feet are, and that's all you really got control over, and work to be better the next day and let the chips fall. And, I said, if it comes down to it and we don't get to play a season in 2021, then, we'll find you somewhere to go to school next year and you'll keep playing. But, we're going to have football someday. So, and really, it's more about football here. It's more about getting these guys back together, getting these guys, hanging out, and, doing something positive, something constructive, and, giving them a chance to, get their mind off of things, the way they were, because they were. I mean, I'm with them. I mean, it was. It was definitely unknown, still unknown. I mean, every Friday night, I'm sitting in the field house, 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, looking at the field like, this is so weird, not been in this situation before. I keep trying to tell myself it's May, and look at it like that, but it's it's different. But we got to take, that's what we preach to them all the time about, play the next play, take your situation and make the best out of the situation, and that's what we've tried to, basically model for them, and sometimes they've modeled it for us. They've had a great attitude to this whole thing.
You guys were a win away from winning another regional final in 4B, making it to the state semifinals. As you're getting back to some sense of normalcy, how much talk has it been, if at all, about the finish of last year, and maybe that being, a little bit of a fire for this group?
We have a couple of themes, but one of the biggest themes I think we got is work smarter. Our kids work hard; they work extremely hard. But when you lose a game like we lost to the PH, it comes down to 4 or 5 plays and little details, and that's what we're trying to get them across to them, is those details count. And that's really all we could do through the Zooms is kind of show them, see, this is why this happened. If you do this, then this is going to happen. So working smarter. They've always worked hard, but just working smarter and making sure that we do pay attention to those little details that have came up to bite us in a few years. And also, try to get across to these young guys, we're going to play in the spring, and then we're going to be like 3 or 4 months, and then we're going to play again. And, I've told the coaches, coach staff's already talked about, we need to get as many guys on that field as we can. Mm-hmm. They need to get that experience, because we're not going to have a full off season for them to, show what they can do. So, I told these guys, and there's been a lot of competition. We got a few guys that, are veterans that have kind of stood out, and, but, for the most part, there's been a lot of good competition out there, and each of these guys understand, hey, I got a shot, I got a shot to get on the field, and so they've been competing hard, paying attention to these little details and getting better. And, that's the finish. I think the finish will take care of itself if we take care of the process. And, that's what we're trying to get across to them is, everything that happened to us a year ago, really from the slow start to everything, come down to 4 or 5 plays, protecting the football. We played some great teams, but, we always play great teams. So, we're able to pinpoint those little things that if we take care of those things, then there may be a different outcome last year. So if we do that, I think the finish takes care of itself.
You mentioned you were a little bit of ahead of the curve, thinking that there will be a spring season in 2021. With that being said, how optimistic are you that there will be football in the spring of 2021?
Well, I mean, it's a little frustrating. I got a subscription to the NFHS network, and which basically shows me football all across the nation. And last week I watched Lowndes and Valdosta play, and it's like nothing's changed down there. So I'm sure it's as confusing to these guys as it is to me. But like I said, I got no control over that. All I got control over is what these guys do from day to day, and how I approach it and how they approach it. And that's really all I can do, and let the guys that make those decisions, trust they're going to trust the science and do what's best for everybody involved. But I know these guys have handled it well. When you add other teams in there, then there's a whole other element. So I know they got a lot of things to look at. I pray every day that these guys get a shot to do something.